Hi guys, it's me, Ellen from the Winding Leaf. Hello from Berlin, Germany. And as you can see, we have a lot of ring light action going on today. So I might try and film this without my glasses on, so you don't have to stare at the reflection all the time. If I cannot manage, I will put it back on maybe later. Anyhow, so today I'm going to finally repot my root-bound asparagus fern number 1. And then we have another asparagus fern that I'm going to fill in with a freshly bought one, so to combine the two of them to make them look bigger and me like a person with a greener thumb. Anyhow, while I'm repotting, I wanted to give my 3 cents to the current situation that's going on worldwide. I was thinking about that long and hard for the last couple of days, at least 2 or 3 weeks already. If I say something on my YouTube channel or if I don't, is it my place? I think people come, you come to me for like entertainment and relaxation and not, to hear any political views, and that's why I'm not going to give you really my straight and honest one. I'm going to be more inclusive and get to the deeper levels, not what divides us, but what brings us together as human beings in this crazy world. So what I saw with myself, and this I think is the most important thing that I want to convey, is that I saw with myself, it's very easy to get caught up in the drama machine, that feeds you hormone, that you read something and you get very riled up about it and you think, oh my god, they are so stupid, or how can they, or yes, go and get him, or go and get her and cancel and dethrone, whatever. And this mechanism, inside yourself, inside your brain, all of those hormones, dopamine and serotonin, I don't know what hormones they are, but there are hormones that, get released when you're on the, adrenaline hunt for someone or something. And this is like an addiction cycle, This is what I discovered with myself. You wake up in the morning, you look at your phone, you read Twitter, or I don't know, you do your newspapers online, you check Instagram, you check Facebook, you get riled up, you put it down, you already have stuff happening in your brain before you ever had your first coffee. And so it goes, through the day, and you get caught up in those things and you cannot think. You cannot think clearly. It's it's easy to have dehumanizing thoughts towards other people, towards opponents of a different mindset. And right now, almost everyone seems to think that yes, we are equal, but only with people that have the same mindset and the same opinion as we. Everyone else should be sent, to, I don't know, into the pampa, or get outlawed or thrown into the desert. I'm being a little bit, überspitzt, you know what I mean. And I'm thinking, what the is going on? And then I think, but 3 days ago I had the same thought after I spent days and days on Twitter and, feeding my inner drama demon. So take a step back, shut your phone off for 3 days, and then see what happens with your brain. This is what I'm trying to say in a very long way. I'm sorry. Probably 3/3 of my audience already moved on from my rambling. I'm sorry, but this is the message I want to bring you, not my opinion about who I think is right or not. I mean, it's common sense, so you probably know what I'm thinking. So probably the same as you, with nuances, and this is totally okay. You don't have to be the same opinion as me or I as you. to be a decent human being. You know, it's called human beings have different opinions. That's totally okay to have different opinions, you know. So this is called a society and a civilization, and this is what drives us forward to like discover new things, change things, and so on and so forth, you know. So to have freedom of speech, that also means that I have to endure stuff online that I think, oh my God, how can you believe this, you know? The earth is flat and stuff like that. But that's okay. It's freedom of speech, you know? So who am I to decide, you know? Who am I to police? Also another thing I wanted to say. Okay, asparagus fern. Lots of, by the way, yeah, plant channel after all. This is how asparagus fern looks like. So do you see these little thingies here? Knollen, roots or whatnot, bulbs. So I put a little bit too much soil, not earth. No, still too much. All right. So, freedom of speech. Freedom of thought. Let me remove the microphone out of the asparagus fern first. All right, listen. I was born and I grew up in my informative years in the eastern part of Germany. That means behind the wall. That means behind the Iron Curtain. That means I experienced socialism, not communism, because communism only exists in its like most extreme form in North Korea, but socialism firsthand, with like lots of touches of communism was the utopia that we wanted, not me personally, but that was the goal to achieve communism. With everyone is equal, there is blah, and nobody owns anything. It's all group-owned stuff, and you know, all of this stuff. It's not. You don't want that, especially in America. In the US, you don't want that. You don't know what not you personally, you don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know. You don't know how it is that when your neighbors spy on you, or you spy on your neighbors to like gain political or economic favors, and how to navigate a system like that and not be allowed. If you say something, you are going to be thrown in prison and you cannot leave the country. You know what I mean? So you and stuff, you know, you cannot just go out and buy whatever you want because it's not available. So this is a very like small part of everything. Just saying, you don't know what you're talking about, you know? This is first of all. Second of all, after the wall came down, I was a little bit older, I was like 15, 16, 17, I did what every teenager does. That's why I'm try to have an open heart, still the open heart for all of those like social justice warrior people out there. When I was that young, I thought I knew everything. There was nothing, you know, that someone was a little bit older than me or grown up could tell me that I did not know the better answer for it. And you could have jumped up and down and would not have changed my mind because I knew everything. And my peer group, we knew everything. And you know what I did? I've been there, done that, Antifa. Antifa comes from Germany, you know? So with the same logo, with the two flags and stuff like that. It's so funny for me after like 25 years to see the same logo that is totally it's like a dead movement. It was for a long time like a dead movement in Germany. Now it's come back a little bit, but to see this and think, oh my God, memories. It's like people reminisce about Woodstock or something like that. And Antifa, let me tell you guys, oh my God. We went to the demonstrations on the Saturday morning, midday, and it was important to be home in your occupied house. So I did all of this stuff, living occupied house and stuff like that, that you can catch the Sportschau. It's like a the weekly soccer, national soccer plays on the right time, because most of Antifa people are, of course, male, and, is this finding good to fight for the rights of the underprivileged people in Africa, or this is what Antifa did back then, and whatever. But you need to be home to catch your favorite soccer team. So this shows you the... it's all talk, Back then was all talk. Like, nobody was, hungry here in Germany. It was all like, we are privileged people. So we didn't know what we were talking about. But it was like a youth movement, So back then, and let me tell you, if you ever have lived in an occupied house, probably not so many of you, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about? Those like weekly plenums, weekly meetings where everyone shares their opinion about stuff, because there is no hierarchy, there is no like ruler or anything. Of course there is, because it's like we are humans, and there's Machiavellism and intrigues, and you know what I mean. But no, there is no, and then hours and hours of discussions of who has to clean the dishes and whatnot, So I think it's important as a young person to experience something along those lines. Doesn't have to be that extreme as living in an occupied house, but you need to test your boundaries and find your place in society. But then you need to come back, and then you need to have compassion for people. So that's why I hope that, I'm sure we all have very different political opinions and all of that, but I hope that we can all agree on, or find it in our hearts to see the other, our opponent, as a human being, and we listen to each other, And it's hard, I'm not going to lie, So if Joe Rogan has someone on his podcast that I completely not agree with, like Ben Shapiro or someone like that, they're thinking, oh my God, how can this person even be allowed to exist? This is my inner monologue, And I think, no, he has a right to exist. He has a right to have his opinion. This is freedom of speech, and me, have to, and also I can listen or not listen to the podcast, first of all. Second of all, if I listen to him, I can maybe understand and be empathetic where he comes from. And if my arguments are as good as I think they are, and if they are after listening to him, then I say, okay, I have this opinion, you have this opinion, we agree on not hurting each other, wonderful. So, I mean, it's like, it's training. For me, it's training. I did this in the last couple of months. I trained myself to be able to listen to people that have completely different opinions than me, and to desensitize and not desensitize, but not get so wild up about it, and not jump on the first outrageous thing they say, but rather be able to look, beneath the hood, and maybe see that this person, maybe not Ben Shapiro, but you know what I mean, doesn't differ from me so far, but maybe uses other language than me, and this is where we can find common ground. So, all right, me rambling. Who's still, people of you still watching? Thank you. I'm going to now, do plan stuff. But I really think I need to say that, because otherwise, who am I? I cannot just, I can, but I don't want to sit here and not say anything while having a platform. So just a little bit, So I'm not saying you what to think or what not to think. I'm just saying try and listen to a person that has not the same opinion as you, and not kill this person, metaphorically speaking, in the first 3 minutes, but maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes try to endure, and then you come to a point where it's okay for you to be uncomfortable, and then go deeper and, find empathy for this other person. All right, so I'm back with you when I did like more plant stuff, because all you who watched me repot before, I'm not that good with talking and handling soil at the same time. So I see you in a bit. So here we go. I had to put on my glasses for the repotting, as you can imagine. So I repotted my asparagus fern that I showed you before, then another asparagus fern. There's so many. So this is the one I bought, and this is the one I had. So because the one I had, initially when I bought it, was very big and lush, but then I didn't water it good enough, and so it all died back. But I managed to rescue it, and then I went away, and my cat sitter lady didn't water it, and then the work of a year to nurse it back to health went out of the window. What can you do? It is what it is. And so I thought, I'm not going to look at 1 year more at this sad state of affairs. I'm going to cheat a little bit and put a new greener plant in the front. So this is what I will see most of the time, and this can then grow back slowly to it can reach its full potential. So also asparagus ferns are not that expensive, because like €4 or something. But I think this first plant here, but I think they look so cool when they are healthy and big and stuff like that. The other plant I repotted or potted up is this Philodendron Billy Tie. I had a big one, and this was one of its leaves, and the big leaf suddenly started to turn yellow. I don't know why. I think they had some sort of root rot situation, because I left it in the so I left lots of the moss it came with. The root was surrounded by moss for transport, and I left lots of the moss inside the pot, and I think that was the problem, that the moss, of course, keeps lots of moisture, and the surrounding earth was dry. So every time I put my moisture meter in the earth, it told me water, but the moss around the roots was still wet, and I didn't catch it. And you can imagine drama followed. But this leaf was still good, so I cut off this leaf I don't know, 2 months ago or something like that, and it grew roots. And also finally the little thingy that never did anything here, where new leaf comes, started to grow a little bit. So I'm very excited, and wish me luck that this is going to be a success story. All right, so what I do every time before I remove all the soil and the equipment, and bring out the vacuum and clean after a repotting action, I like to go around with my little soil pot. I will put it in a smaller bowl and check all of my pots and see if they need a little bit soil on top. So this is a good idea, because this is fresh soil. New soil has lots of nutrients in it. So maybe it's also something you can do, instead of repot the whole plant, just see if there's a little bit like half a centimeter soil missing. So you can just put a spoonful of new soil on top of it, and it will help you plant, and you don't need to make such a mess. All right, thank you for watching. I will link a channel that I discovered last week down below. It's a okay, let me do like this. It's a very interesting social commentary channel from 2 guys. They live in Canada. They are comedians, and one comes from Haiti, or his heritage is Haitian. Haitian, Polynesia, something like that. And the other one comes from Ethiopia, and they live in Canada, and they have lots of things to say. And I am so happy that I found them. So if you're more for like a critical, more like a critical stand on all the social justice warrior things, you can go to them and check them out. Also very funny. All right. Yeah. Whatever or not, up to you. I wish you a very lovely day wherever you are, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay calm, and try one day without social media and see what it does to your brain, or maybe two, at least two. Thank you and goodbye.